Welcome to Read the Room podcast. This is episode number 11, and the title of this episode is Conversations with Amber. I'm your host. I go by E1, and this is my little brother.
Okay.
This is Amber, my little sister, younger sister, all the way from LA. And so I just want to welcome you.
Thank you.
And it's good to have you on the pod. You don't really come visit home that much, so it's nice to see you.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it's nice to see you.
Yeah, whatever.
How are you? How are you?
I'm good. Happy to be home.
Good. Now, all right. So you live in LA,
Yeah.
right? How long have you been living in LA?
Woo. I would say like a total of 15 years, about at least.
15?
I'm thinking a good 15.
And do you like LA?
I do. I love LA. I love the culture out there, the beaches, I love the entertainment industry part of it. I love the weather, all the things. I mean, if you in entertainment, that's the entertainment mecca to be.
So, well, what made you? Now that's across the world, at least from here.
Yeah.
And those who just watching, this is the DMV area. I'm not about to get into what's DC and PG and what's the DMV, man. This is the DMV, so this is for people who don't know. So LA is super far from here. So what made you move across the world?
Always, it was a dream of mine growing up. I always wanted to live in LA. I always wanted to be into entertainment business, and I didn't care like in what way. Even when I went to college, I went to Morgan State University, HBCU. I studied communications with a concentration in television production. So I just always knew, like, I don't care what it is, whether it's acting, whether it's behind the scenes doing camera, like I want to be in the entertainment business. And so that seemed like the place to be. It's not a lot here outside of local television. So that was just a dream of mine.
That's what's up. Now I'm gonna ask you, what would you say, like, what are key differences that you notice from just people, period, like in LA and then versus here?
I feel like LA is LA people. I feel like you can find a lot of fakeness. You know, it's very important out there to find your people, because there's a lot of fakeness, because there's a lot of people that do want to be in, the entertainment business or whatever else. But I feel like LA compared to here, I think it's more supportive. I feel like here is, in DC area, DMV area, it's like crabs in a barrel type of thing. It's like everybody feels like only one person can be on top. And I feel like it's not as much support of the local artists. And it might have gotten better over the years, but I feel like, nobody hates Wale more than the DMV area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I see you get hated on, or he ain't tight, or he ain't this. I feel like, it's definitely crabs in a barrel. When, people come around, it's like, a lot of times this what I noticed the difference is people coming around each other, like sitting in a group in DMV, you might be talking about other people, but in LA, people come around and you talking and discussing ideas.
Oh wow, you just shit on us.
Yeah.
That's
a little bit, because I want to see better for us, man. I think PG area is so tight, DMV area is so tight, man, and it's just it's tough to see the crabs in a barrel mentality.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, people do say that. I have visited LA. The culture is definitely different.
Yeah.
I love LA. I don't know about living out there, but it's dope. It's totally different and it's dope. But you just made me think real quick. I forgot.
Yeah.
So I had did a episode not too long ago, and I was talking about Chris Brown and Usher on tour.
Yeah.
And I was saying how Chris Brown is bringing women on stage, kissing them, and gyrating on them and humping them and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so with that, when I posted about it, a lot of the guys are just like, hey, if that happened, what I'm saying, with my girl, that's it.
Yeah. That's
Period,
it.
right? So my question to you, from a woman's perspective, if you had, whether it's your husband, boyfriend, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Let's say Sierra's having a concert.
Yeah.
Move your mic, yeah. Good job. So, and they're having a concert, and it's a Sierra concert, right? And she brings your boyfriend on stage.
Yeah.
She gyrates on him. She fake humps on him. Would you have a problem with that?
I don't think I would. I feel like it's an artist. It's not like, I think it's like a one-time experience thing. It's not like, oh, she's slipping him a note like, here's my number, hit me up later. It's just all within the show, having fun, a good time. I don't think I'm that territorial to that point that I would be like, oh no, that can't happen to my man. It's just a one-time experience. It's not like he's now about to stalk her or anything like that. I mean,
So you think men are overreacting with that?
I do, yeah.
So
I
you
think
telling me
it's harder for men to.
So you
accept.
telling me if you think that, okay? So you saying that you think it's cool if a man goes on stage?
Yeah.
If a woman goes on stage,
Yeah.
and Chris Brown is actually fake like humping her.
Yeah.
She's smiling and enjoying it, and that's all entertainment.
It's all. I think it's all entertainment, but it depends on your relationship and what you're comfortable with. Now, if you know your man is not somebody that's comfortable with that, you shouldn't be going on stage. It's all about your relationship. I don't feel like I would have an issue if my man went up there and got a quick fake striptease by one of the artists. That's not going to bother me. I mean,
So
it's
if
just
she
one
humped
thing.
on him and all that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's the artist is the
cheating.
show. That's not cheating.
That's cheating.
The
Not
hell's
only
cheating?
is it cheating, it's cheating in the public. It's cheating where everybody can see it. It's cheating where it could always be brought up because it's online.
yeah.
That ain't cheating.
That's not cheating to me. And again, it depends on what's comfortable in y'all's relationship. Some might consider that cheating. Some might not. Some might think that's just all in fun. There's all type of couples out here. I mean, the ones that do the upside down with pineapples and whatever else. There's a lot of different kind of couples. So everybody doesn't consider that cheating. For me, I wouldn't consider that cheating. I'd be more upset if it wasn't an artist. Say if he went out with the boys and he went to a strip club or something like that and went to a private room and got a lap dance.
Wow.
That would be upsetting.
Okay.
But not on stage for the artist, for everybody, and it's a fun part of the show.
I got you. Okay. Hey, to each his own. I know I've been there see my peoples are Demi. But let's go back to the LA thing. So you talked about like the differences just overall when it comes to people that are from LA, people that are from here, the DMV area. Now let's go to, what would you say the differences are in men?
The difference in men is quite different. I would say what I love about the DMV area and the men from the DMV area, much more, I think, aggressive in approaching women. The men in LA are very much laid back. I feel like they look at themselves as the prize, I'm guessing. That for all the years I've been out there, they've always been the ones that kind of sit back. They will stare at you all day, every day, but they are not going to really, from my experience, approach you like that. I feel like for the DMV area, there's a lot more successful men compared to LA. I feel like LA, of course, there's successful people, but I think it's the land of the dreamers. And so I think a lot of men out there are still trying to get themselves together. They're still, and I see nothing wrong with having a dream. I just feel like when you get to a certain age, I don't think you should ever give up on your dream, ever. But at some point, you hitting them 40s, pushing 50, at some point you might say, you know what, my dream is not working. Let me at least get some other things under my belt. Let me be able to afford my living. Let me be able to afford a car. Let me be able to afford some things and still go for my dream. You might have to bite the bullet real quick and do a 9-to-5 or anything that, you can, sustain your life. I feel like there's not a lot of men out there that are, doing what it takes to sustain a life, or if you really want to date seriously, that for a woman to take you serious. Now, of course, there's plenty of producers and that have made it and all of that. But I feel like the successful black men out there, too, for LA, they're not going for the black women. So I think that's a huge thing out here. That's a huge difference. And I don't mind interracial dating at all, but I feel like in LA for the men, it's like, okay, I got my success, I got my good car, and now I got my white woman. I feel like that's part of the status quo for them, and it feels, makes them feel good about themselves. I don't, it's just like, I don't know. It's like something that to check off for them to feel,
Well, where do you think that derives from, though? Do you think that do you think it goes all the way back to like slavery, and because how we were done by white people, that it makes the man feel like, the black man feel like, okay, I've conquered?
I think a part of it is, yeah.
Okay.
I do think a part of it could come from that. It's hard to say. I mean, it's really hard, because I'm not a man, but I don't understand it. But it just seems to be the culture out there. And maybe it's because it's also more diverse out there. I'm from the DMV area where it's, majority black people. But still, it's like out there, if, the black guys that go for black women, a lot of times are not the most successful ones that you find. And so that's just very interesting to me, because I don't know. I don't know where to find the nice, successful guys that can match me. That are into black people.
So would you say that most of the guys, a lot of the guys that you've met in LA are more entrepreneur type? Is basically what you're saying? Yeah,
a lot of them are entrepreneur types, unless they're like more of the blue collar, workers or the mechanics and plumbers and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. If that's, it's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying when it comes to a majority of the people out there, entrepreneurs, whether they want to be writers, directors, musicians, dancers, whatever it is. Yeah, it's the land of the entrepreneurship.
So LA is your home now.
Yeah.
My sister left us, like, 15 years ago. No, I'm talking shit. But no, that's what's up. So another thing with the difference between with here in LA, of course, is the weather. And so you got accustomed to good weather all the time, basically.
Yeah, mostly all the time. I mean, we do have some rainy days, but Tony was right. It never rains in Southern California for the most part. We don't get a lot of rain. We don't get it's nice weather year round. Okay.
Well, that was enough small talk, Am. We're gonna get into the real shit now. You know what I mean? And Amber has a real serious story that I'm gonna let her tell, and at the end of it is triumph. So I'm gonna let you have the floor.
It was a meme I came across recently that really struck a note with me. Really, hit me. It said, "My biggest flex is I could lose it all and get it right back, because it's not what's on me, it's what's in me." And I was like, wow, that's dope. It reminded me kind of my story. Because I moved to LA, chasing my dreams. And out there, I ended up being in a, abusive marriage, a relationship marriage. And it set me back. It set me far back. But going through it was tough. Being out there, not having my family out there with me. I remember making phone calls to my family while I was going through it, not knowing exactly how to get out of the situation. Sometimes you can really get yourself into something and just really not know how to get out of it, or scared to get out of it. Or for a lot of women, you get the death threat. So you don't know, okay, once I get out of it, how safe I will be. And so, for me, it was just tough, and I felt bad for, calling you and calling mom, to, let you all know what was going on, and knowing that y'all were so far away and there's nothing y'all could really do about the situation, and whether it was hurtful for y'all or frustrating for y'all or whatever it was. And so I was eventually able to, get myself out of the marriage and out of the relationship with my kids, and I moved back to Maryland. But when I moved back, I moved back to inside my mom's house to leave the abusive marriage. I gave up everything. I gave up my job at a Fortune 500 company. Every piece of furniture was mine. I left my car in LA. I left, I had nothing, and I had a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old. And it was just me, and trying to, think about like, okay, what's next? How will I provide for my kids? Something that just felt so impossible, for all these years of going through this. I'm finally out, but now, how do I take care of an infant and a 3-year-old with no job, no nothing? I remember when I first got here, had to humble myself. And I remember I even had to, we're very prideful. We don't like to ask for anything. I didn't ask for nothing from mom. I didn't want to ask you for nothing. But I remember just to even, it was a blower having to go on food stamps, but to even get the food stamps, I remember I had to ask you for $60 so that I could get the girls' birth certificates in order to be able to get the food stamps. I remember being in the food stamp line and seeing people from the neighborhood.
That's really crazy in that joint.
And it was just crazy, I took a picture of myself while I was in that line because I said, I will never let myself be here again. Like, this won't happen to me again. It won't. And I went 9 months without a job. And like I said, having to be on food stamps, a baby with a special formula, and trying to wait to, provide for them, living off a credit card. Life was rough. And all while I'm doing this, it's not like the abuse completely stopped. I'm doing all of this, taking care of my kids by myself, paying for their needs by myself. And all the while still getting harassed. Still, nobody would ever guess the 30 to 40, phone calls I'm getting a day, the harassments that's coming at me, the harassments that's coming towards my family, the death threats that I'm getting, that I'm living through every single day. It was just crazy. And but brick by brick, I had to build my life back. I finally got a job. I was literally applying for jobs at Target. Because it just got to a point I got to provide. I'm not getting any child support or anything. Yeah. So I literally was applied for the Target down the street. I had an interview with them. I applied for Nordstrom. I actually took a job there. But before my job started, I did land a job somewhere else for advertising, which was great. Anyway, brick by brick, I was able to, save up, get my life back together, keep my girls straight, and eventually moved back out to Cali because I just felt like one person is not going to determine how my life goes. You get one life and you don't get the opportunity to stop my life. You know what I mean? I gave you enough years, you won't get not one more. And so I moved back out to California during the pandemic, and I got a job back at a Fortune 500 company. And just brick by brick, started out in a 1-bedroom apartment, let my girls have the room, slept in the living room for years, just doing what any mother does, take care of your kids. And again, kept working and working towards my goal of being a homeowner. And I can say that I am today. And it's all because of God. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be sitting here now. Because it was some dark days. There were some days that you want to give up. And some days where you don't see a way out. There's some days where you just like, God, send me some help. And he did, though. He's kept me a whole way through. And to be able to sit here and say, I thought it would never happen, paying for lawyer after lawyer and going through everything I did and still providing for my girls by myself, still not getting child support, still, just all the things. And to be able to, get my life back and get back to my dreams now. But God.
So let's talk about the domestic violence part, right?
Yeah.
And when I say that, you don't have to go into detail and things like that, but this is more for like women who are in or who are in the same situation or who have been in the situation that you were in. And a lot of times in abusive relationships or marriages, women stay. And the thing is that it's easy to tell somebody that if a person does this to you, you need to leave right away. Yeah. That's the easy shit to say. But sometimes when you living in it and you dealing with it, it ain't that easy.
Yeah.
And for you, you didn't let it go on like that where it was to the point where it was too late.
Yeah.
What in you made you leave at the point that you left? Because some people would have stayed a lot longer than you did.
Yeah. I would have to say my girls, seeing their faces in the last incident, and I will go over, briefly, the last incident was, I was breastfeeding my 3-month-old, and my 3-year-old was looking on, and I got hit in the face twice. And I saw my 3-year-old's mouth just drop. And when I saw that, I said, that's it.
Yeah, true.
That's it. This won't be their life. And I knew like whatever I accepted is what they would accept. And I could not accept my girls ever being in this situation. It's like, you're your children's biggest role models. And so if they see me accepting this and this is it for them, for me, it was like, I'd rather die trying,
Yeah, true.
I would rather die trying. I mean, it's not easy, but it's worth it, to get out and save yourself, save your children. Because yes, it can be very hard. I mean, it's not just physically hard, but there were times where I wanted to leave and I would go to pick my child up from from daycare and they'd be like, oh, he already got her.
Yeah.
Because they knew I was trying to,
that movie shit.
Yeah,
right?
that movie stuff. You know what I mean? And my child's not there. But there are times I wanted to leave and they took off and had her, my child at a hotel somewhere and not knowing where they were. So I couldn't, I'm not going to leave my baby. So many crazy incidences as to, why it's hard for a person to truly and get out so easy, when you don't have anywhere to go. I didn't have family locally. I've even called shelters before and, and they asked me, I had, infant at the time, and they're like, oh, can you take a top bunk? And it's just like, oh, I can't imagine my baby rolling off the top bunk. You know what I mean? Just so many different things. It can be tough, but it was definitely that last incident and being like, that's it for me.
Now, as a brother, from my standpoint, y'all could be, looking and like, well, damn, where was he at? All this shit, right? So I'm gonna just give, my portion of it. First of all, I'm here in the DMV, and my sister was, living in LA. So it was a situation where it was like I had to tread lightly. If she's calling me because of something they got on, because at first what would happen is I would talk to both of them, right? In my mind, I'm gonna be honest, like I wanted to stomp a hole in his head. But if I display that and she's across the world and I start throwing threats about what I'm gonna do, when we get off that phone, you guess who got to deal with the person? She does, right? So I had to be strategic in how I spoke to the person. I had to be strategic in everything that I said, everything that I did, because it got to the point with me, I got so frustrated with the incidents, I punched holes in the walls here because it was like it was nothing that I could do but tell my sister, when he do something else, call the police. I mean, like, yeah, cool, but it's like you want to be able to, and then we don't have, our pops, so I'm like the man of the, like I'm the protector. That's who I am, and that's, I embrace that. But it's tough when you have to play a mental role with somebody, you know what I'm saying? But really, you really want to do harm to the person that I'm not even going to really, go into on this, right? So it was a tough situation. Me looking at it and dealing with the person, and that they really not like that. And they'll treat you like that, but when they talk to me, it's a whole different energy, face to face. You know what I mean? And it's really tough, and it takes a toll on everyone. Of course, I'm not her, so she's definitely getting the brunt. But just as a brother, it's tough when the person's across the world, because I feel like that if she was living here, it would have never went like that.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to, when a person doesn't have anybody and they far away, it's easy to act tough and be big and bad. But it's different when you got to see a person face to face. And that was the situation. All we could do was pray. You know what I mean? And when I say all you can do is pray, praying is a lot. So I'm not going to make it seem like all we can do is say some little prayers, because prayer is everything. And prayer and the faith in God is what got her through and us through as a family.
Yeah.
Those were some crazy times, to the point that, and we're not really even going into super detail, but it's movie stuff. You know what I mean? Stuff that if you saw it, you would think that, that really didn't happen. Nah, this shit really did happen. And it was crucial, man. And just to see you on the higher end of the situation is a blessing. I knew you would get there, and I knew it would happen.
Yeah.
But dealing with it yourself, I just know that that's tough.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to ask you advice, man, because it's people out there right now that's going through the same thing as we speak.
Yeah.
For a woman, like, what can you tell a woman that's in a situation that they feel stuck in?
Yeah.
And they feel like they can't leave and they don't have anybody? What advice would you give them?
Man, I would say make a plan. I would say the first thing is to talk to others, talk to your family, talk to your friends. Sometimes, so many times, like the shame that comes from abuse, like you hide it, you don't tell your friends, you don't tell your family, and people don't really know the real of what you're going through. So I think that's always the first step. The next step I would definitely say is start collecting your paperwork. You don't want to be like me where you don't have the birth certificates and you don't have the social security cards. Put those things in a place that they are set and ready to go so that when you make that move, you have all the documentation you need. Take pictures, videos, pictures, however you have to do it. I would take pictures of things, send it to my email, and then delete it out of my phone, just so I could have proof, because so many abusers say that didn't happen. That never happened. Whereas, and you don't have that proof. So many people don't think to do that. And so it's so important to document. You need to have that documentation because it is your word against theirs. And the next thing up is making a plan to get out of there, whether it is a shelter, whether it is a family member. I would say try to stay away from friends where they know where, your friends live. Stay away from the family members where they might know some of your family members. Go somewhere that they do not know and make your plan to get out of there. Even if you're stacking some side money to this, get out, because it's only going to get worse. So many times you think, man, it can get better. It can get better. I've seen them do good. I know they can do good. Like they're going to, that good person's going to come back. And after abuse, a lot of times it's a honeymoon period where they act normal again. And you think, oh, this could be life. Like this could really be it. And then bam, you never know. It could be 2 months later, 3 months later, the next day. We see it every day where women don't make it out. And so, my advice is to leave and not walk away, but to run away, and get far away and stay away. Because so many people go back, they do that thing where I left, but I'm coming back. He said he missed me. He loved me. He missed the kids. He loved me so much. It'll never happen again. It's not worth it. It's never worth it to go back.
So it should be one and done, in your opinion?
It should be one and done. It's because it's not ever going to get better. It just grew, like mine, it just grew. It started like just verbal abuse. And then it got into them throwing things and punching things. And then it got to them grabbing me up and, sliding me across the floor, stuff like that. And then it was throwing things at me. And then it went to actually putting hands on me and hitting me. And that's when it was like, that's it, but it just grew. You see that escalation of something that started as small as, and which is not small, but something that was just like, oh, they calling me names, that's weird. I haven't had that experience before, but something that was from, just verbally coming at me, that's grew all the way to, been in the emergency room at times. So it is never worth it to stay. My advice is to get out as soon as you possibly can, but get out smart, because a lot of women can leave and men do make good on their promises, or women make good on their promises. And we've seen people lose their lives. So you have to be really smart about where you go and what you do and how you get out of there.
Now, what about mentally, to be on the other side, while you were going through it, now you're on the other side. What did you do to maintain mentally while you were in it?
God, mentally, I just think that we have such a strong foundation, I think, in our upbringing and of ourselves. I wasn't a person that started out with like low self-esteem or something like that. And I think that helped me, because I always, throughout the whole situation, like I knew better. Like I wasn't one of those that like, he hits me because he loves me. And, and if I could just be better, like I wasn't one of those. And no offense to anybody that's like that, but that wasn't my story, So I think already having that esteem, like, who are you? That was always in me. But then mentally, it was always, just God, man. I would just play my gospel music. I would just, pray to God, like, God, I don't know how to get out, but I know you will eventually. Like, I know that you will get me out of this situation. I don't know how it's going to look, how it's going to be, but like, I knew I wanted out so bad. So it was just like prayer. It was the only way, was the only thing that got me through it mentally. Because like I said, there were days that I literally I never was suicidal or anything like that, but just like, I wouldn't care if I got hit by a bus today, because I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this. Like, I don't see a way. And it's crazy to look back and be like, how can somebody get you like that mentally? What I mean? Like, it is so crazy to look back and be like, how can somebody get you that down, or that, that loss, And it is crazy, but it takes time, and they just keep beating you down mentally, emotionally, physically, and all of those things. And at some point, it just gets to you. And so it was just staying prayed up, man. I prayed up. My faith got me through all of it.
Now that you on the other side, how good does it feel?
Man, it feels good, man. I'm at peace. Going through that and then having my kids, and I just felt like I couldn't control the environment my kids were in, and I didn't have peace where my kids were, and I was walking on eggshells, and I didn't know if they were going to get hurt in the crossfire. To be able to raise my children and knowing they have a peaceful home, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what's in them is what I'm putting into them, you know what I mean? Like, I'm raising my children, and knowing that I'm giving them like a peaceful space, a healthy, a healthy childhood. It was the most important thing for me for them to have. And that wasn't possible, staying in a marriage like that. And so it just feels, man, like I'm just so grateful. Like
you can conquer the world.
I can conquer the world now. I finally feel like I can now focus back on my dreams and what I went to LA for. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I got them settled. I know they're good. They're healthy. Everything is well. Now it's time for me to get back to me,
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna leave it like that. Yeah. That's what's up, man. You can as I always say, follow us on Instagram at Read the Room Pod. Follow us on TikTok at Read the Room Pod. On Instagram, when you follow the profile, click on the link in the bio. That takes us to the YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube page. And as I always say, everybody has a pod, but everybody isn't us. Till the next time.